April 2007. Let's get right to the books. The first book that I read in April of 2007 was Beast House by Richard Lehman. Love that cover. And, this is about the Beast House that was introduced to us in The Cellar, Richard Lehman's debut novel. And it's known as a murder house. There have been many deaths there. There's legends of killer creatures or a killer creature. And so some young people decide to take a chance and expose the truth. What will they discover? Does the beast even exist? Or is it all just a hoax? Great stuff. There was a point where the Beast House series was all of the Richard Lehman I was going to bother owning because I love the entire series. I have since changed my tune and picked up some other Richard Lehman. But the Beast House series, this book, great stuff. Love a good killer creature. The Beast House by Richard Lehman. Speaking of killer creatures, the second book that I read was Breeding Ground by Sarah Pinborough. This is a leisure book. You're going to see a lot of leisure. And this is the first Sarah Pinborough I read. Her career has really taken off relatively recently with her thrillers. Behind Her Eyes, made into a TV series. There might be another TV series in the works or already done. I don't remember. I know she's been on a book tour for her brand new book. But Breeding Ground, not her first leisure book, but the first one that I picked up. And it's killer spiders. Or are they spiders? They're breeding from women. It says right off the bat, life was good for Matt and Chloe. They were in love and looking forward to their new baby. But what Chloe gave birth to isn't a baby. It isn't even human. And regular viewers know, killer animals, my favorite subgenre of horror, and this has a very apocalyptic feel to it. There is a sequel that I want to say sort of shrinks down the story. It's not even necessarily a sequel, but a companion book, possibly taking place at the same time, just a different location. This one feels a little more open world than that one does, and that's not a negative or anything. But anyway, Giant Killer Spiders, Breeding Ground by Sarah Pinborough. Those are the only two that I have to show you. Next up, Deep in the Darkness by Michael Lamo. That's how I say his name. It's Laimo. It's Lamo, right? So, the main character is Dr. Michael Kale, and he has moved with his wife and young daughter from the city, New York, I believe, to Ashboro, New England. He's going to start a private practice, wanted to get away from the big city to a nice little town where he and his wife can relax and raise their daughter, but there's something in the woods. One might say something deep in the darkness. There's going to be violence, there's going to be terror, there's going to be blood, and there are golden eyes watching him from the woods. When I had to look this up, and as soon as I read the first sentence of the description, I remembered reading the book. Not all the details, not even most of the details, but it hit me. I was like, I remember this. And I believe this is my first Michael Lamo, but it won't be my last. So Deep in the Darkness by Michael Lamo. Main character, Dr. Michael Kale. There's a reason I'm emphasizing that. Next up, Grave Intent by Deborah LeBlanc. And in this book, our main characters are Janet and Michael Savoy. And I believe they run a funeral home. And because they're witness to and I'm using the term that's used in reference to the book and the descriptions and everything, witness to a gypsy funeral, a young girl, and there's a gold coin placed in her hand when she's buried. But the coin is stolen, and now the Savoys have, it says, until the second son, so I guess 2 days, to find that coin and return it, or there's going to be hell to pay. Possibly their young daughter might be the one paying the price. I really dig. I think this is my first Deborah LeBlanc. You people probably remember better than I do what I've talked about, but I really like her stuff. I feel like maybe it isn't. I'm not going to go through this whole list, but big fan of Deborah LeBlanc's stuff that I was reading back in the day. I believe these are leisure. A lot of sort of Southern Gothic might be the subgenre they would fall into. But Grave Intent, Deborah LeBlanc, I say check it out. All of these so far worth checking out. I have to turn the page. Next up, Sucked Up Fit by Joe Netter. This is currently available under the title Vile Beauty. I could not find this under this title anywhere. But when I Googled, I checked all my usual places, then I finally Googled it and found out it was re-released under the title Vile Beauty. I actually bought this from Joe Netter himself, and it's just a short story collection of horror stories, 14 stories, from the author and filmmaker Joe Netter. Then we have Horrorween by Al Sarantonio. This is part of the Orangefield series, and Orangefield is a small town, got its name from all the pumpkins, and happens to be home of Samhain, the King of Death, I think is what they call him. And but there's sort of a détente between Samhain and the town until a child goes missing. And now Detective Bill Grant, surprised his name isn't Michael, Detective Bill Grant and some other folks have to wage a cosmic battle to save not just Orangefield, but essentially the world, because Samhain's got some crazy plans. Horrorween by Al Sarantonio. Next up, Mischief by Douglas Clegg. This is the second book in the Harrow House series, and now the Harrow House has been converted into a school for boys. There's a new student, Jim Hook, who has arrived, and I think there's some bullies that are after him, but there are also some dark forces that are after him as well. Haunted house story from a good author and part of the series. Mischief, Douglas Clegg. I don't have anything else to say about it, really. The penultimate book for April of 2007. And this is with an X. Zombie Dead. Excuse me. Let's try that again. Zombie Dead on Arrival by James Farr. And that's Zombie with an X. This is about 160 pages, and it's based on a bunch of webisodes. And the main character is a zombie named Dirge, who's not the mindless, brain-eating type of zombie. And he's trying to help a little girl get back to her family. So protecting her from all the crazy, evil, supernatural things in this crazy, supernatural, evil world. And it's illustrated. One of the things I read said it's like 90% prose, 10% illustrations, but I can't vouch for those numbers. I've never seen the webisodes that it's based on, but it was fun. It's horror, supernatural, or superheroes, what I meant to say. Definitely a horror novel, but Dirge, a little bit of a superhero kind of character, you know. He's trying to protect this little girl, get her back to her family. Maybe an anti-hero. what with being a zombie and all. But Zombie, Dead on Arrival by James Farr. And the final book that I read in April of 2007 was The Red Church by Scott Nicholson. Moving my notes over here since I don't need to look at the list anymore. And what we have here is we have 13-year-old Ronnie Day, who does not like walking past the Red Church on his way into town or school or wherever he happens to be going and has to walk past the Red Church. And then we have the new preacher, Archer McFall, and he's building up a congregation, and poor old Ronnie's mom wants Ronnie to go with her to the midnight services. And then we have Sheriff Frank Littlefield, whose younger brother, long time ago, died in a freak accident in the church. And there's legends of some sort of beast in the bell tower. And so these three families, the Days, the McFalls, the Littlefields, all part of the founding families of the town. And there's a secret from way back in the day. And the Reverend Archer McFall says that he's the second son of God, and everybody must be baptized in blood. Really good stuff. I really was digging the Scott Nicholson stuff that I was reading back in the day, and wouldn't mind picking these up if I come across them in at Half Price Books or something. I'll probably pick up some of that old Scott Nicholson. But that's everything that I read back in April of 2007. Let's see. As usual, didn't think ahead. So, you know what? Once again, I'm going to do the lazy thing, no question. No recommendations, except for pretty much everything on this list. There's a lot of really, really good stuff on here. Beast House, Breeding Ground, fantastic. Deep in the Darkness, Grave Intent, really good stuff. The Red Church, really liked it. The other stuff, very entertaining. I'm not going to put it up there with the others that I mentioned, but check it all out. So you can just talk about whatever you want down in the comments. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. If your name is Michael, shout out. A lot of Michaels this time. Comments, questions, corrections in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the usual YouTube stuff. If you care to follow me on other social media, I'll have links for my Instagram and Bluesky in the description below. And that's all I have for you this week. So until next week, read more books.